What? Hello everyone, it's me, Darkros Plays It again, and today we are gonna watch something scary called Squidward Suicide Original Version and other scary creepypasta or whatever thing it is. So let's begin. So if I skip some of the parts because they keep on going the same exact thing over and over again. Let me check if I got my words out. Yep. Let's go. It's being normal.
Now for some soothing sounds from Squidward's clarinet. Thank you, thank you. You knock it off. I have a concert to practice for.
Sure thing, Squidward.
Oh my god. What is this? When is this crane gonna start? It's kinda creepy right now. What is this? Okay, I'm gonna skip. It's too long. What the fuck? I did not read your comments, by the way. What the fish? Oh god. Climb over your eyes closed. Well, I'm not covering eyes. And the devil's voice. Okay, this is going to be God. What the fuck was that? Where are you now? In a dream. Inside of me, I'm fading. Let's watch this guy moving. I may not read your comments though.
Lost episodes of cartoons can be really messed up and creepy. There are many creepypastas that talk about lost cartoon episodes, ones that never aired and nobody can find real footage of them. Keep in mind that this video is purely for entertainment purposes, and these creepypastas are all fictional. It's still really scary to think about these and how the internet can make such dark stories. This video does have some dark themes, so you should watch it at your own risk. With all that being said, let's get on to some of the creepiest lost cartoon episodes. First, we're going to be talking about the grieving from the amazing world of Gumball. This story in particular is extremely disturbing. So it starts off with the narrator Sarah watching Adult Swim really late into the morning, and then an ad comes on for a special episode of The Amazing World of Gumball. The title card reveals that the episode is called The Grieving, and it was 30 minutes instead of the usual 11. The episode began with Gumball standing alone facing a corner of his dimly lit school classroom, crying and completely miserable. It was nighttime outside and nobody else was around him as he cried for a minute of the episode. After this scene, we see Gumball's father, Richard, looking even more miserable and sobs intensely while sitting on a sofa. Richard's crying gradually got worse, and it wasn't the normal cartoon crying you'd see, but instead more realistic and depressing. Eventually, the scene changed to Gumball's parents in Principal Brown's office. The principal informs them that Anais and Darwin were not present earlier that day. Their bodies had been found, and then it goes into graphic and nauseating detail to describe that. After this scene, we get an insanely creepy flashback of the police searching the wooded area outside of the school. They finally discover the horrible fate of Anais and realize that her head was found in a small box.
Holy shit.
Realistic blood covered the box completely, but Anais's head was drawn in the normal cartoonish style. After watching this scene, the narrator calls her brother and asks if he has seen this on TV as well. She finds out that only she can see the grieving, and an old rerun of a Looney Tunes short is playing on her brother's TV. Then we get back to the episode after the narrator desperately tries to turn off her TV and stop playing the episode, but nothing is working and she is forced to watch the rest. Gumball's parents were still talking to the principal, asking if Gumball was alright, seemingly unaware of the previous moments where they found out Gumball died. The police were called again, and Gumball was found in a classroom hanging by a noose. Blood covered the knife behind him, and blood covered his clothing. The episode ended with Gumball's dead body hanging in the corner, fading to black. In the credits, the narrator discovers a familiar name and messages him on Twitter. But before she can message him, she sees a few video clips after the credits of various disturbing things. I don't want to say exactly what they were because honestly it was terrible to read, but you probably don't want to know. Eventually it's found out that this episode was just a sketch of the Wattersons and Friends, something never supposed to be released, and it was made a very long time ago. But then this person who worked on the show says that there was no blood and guts in the episode, no dead bodies, and nothing really creepy. The theory is that some lunatic edited the tape, hijacked the local TV station, and got the episode to air on the narrator's local Cartoon Network station. Someone made this episode in video form, and it's pretty creepy. The next Lost episode is not as well known as The Grieving, but I found this one really scary. It's an episode of Blue's Clues called No Clues. The narrator tells this story as a flashback since it happened in 2001, and he was recommended by his older sister to watch a Blue's Clues VHS. Strangely, it was a red VHS, but the back and other sides were all white. His older sister, Julie, put the...
I sent this thing to someone else too. Hey everyone, I'm back again. Sorry that I left though. I know I saw views, then they left just because I paused it. But let's keep on going. Kinda creepy though. Creeps me out.
It was a red VHS, but the back and other sides were all white. His older sister, Julie, put the VHS in the player and watched the Blue's Clues episode. It began with a weird Nick Jr. logo on the screen for 7 seconds, and then it went to the actual episode. The Blue's Clues intro started, but there was no joyful guitar music and instead depressing piano sounds. Steve says, "Hi, play with me," in a voice that didn't sound like Steve at all. Then there's static and the house door opens, revealing a man that looks nothing like Steve but still wearing the same clothes as him. Then the TV went into static and Steve was back to normal. He said, "Hello little boys and girls, we don't play Blue's Clues today, sorry." The background kid said, "Why not?" And then the screen went into a tiny burst of static, revealing a dead corpse of Blue. She was on her back, her stomach ripped open, and her intestines tied around her. The eyes were popped out of her sockets. Steve began to smile at the camera and then said, "You kids will learn about death." Soon after, there's static and a 666 can be seen if you look closely enough. Then Steve gives Mr. Salt and Mrs. Pepper juice, but they soon realize that it's actually cyanide and poison. Steve was satisfied at his murder, so he kept going. He went after Shovel and Pail, telling them that they're next. He sang Ring Around the Rosie in a creepy little girl's voice as he grabbed Pail and killed her. More static came on the TV for about a minute, and then we see Steve and Slippery Soap. Slippery is blindfolded, unaware of the terrible fate awaiting him. Steve counted to 3, then sliced him with a knife. He then turned to the screen and said that Satan was his king, that he needed to kill himself to make him happy. A rope sound came out of nowhere and the Nick logo came on. It was in the shape of a knife, with the top of it being 666 and the bottom of it saying "to turno," which meant your turn. There were no credits and the screen became static. The final Lost cartoon episode I'm talking about is SuicideMouse.avi. This is a shorter story than the 2 others, but it's still extremely creepy. Bottom of his chin on YouTube, and they're pretty messed up. So yes, these are all fictional stories, but they're still incredibly scary. Good luck sleeping tonight. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Be sure to subscribe for more awesome cartoon videos. Give it.
I watch this at night though.
Instead. That's not right. That's not right.
No viewers though. Only got 0.
Lost episodes of cartoons can be pretty creepy and messed up. If you didn't know, there are many creepypastas that talk about deleted cartoon episodes, ones that never came to air and nobody can find real footage of them. Keep in mind that this is a video purely for entertainment purposes, and the creepypastas are all fictional. But still, it's interesting to see all this creepy stuff and how the internet can make such dark tales involving lost episodes. This isn't a top 5 list. I just want to show you guys the scary lost episode stories that the internet has to offer. If you're scared easily, you should probably avoid watching this video because there's some really dark themes. With all that being said, let's get on with the creepiest lost cartoon episodes. I'm starting off with a lost episode that many people have heard of, Squidward's Suicide. While I don't want to get into all the specifics of the story, just know that it involves Squidward getting really sad and eventually killing himself. There is a video on YouTube that was attached to the creepypasta itself. The video is called Squidward Suicide Original, and it just shows a picture of Squidward with bloodshot eyes staring into the camera. Some weird low quality audio can be heard throughout the full video, but other than that, there really isn't much else. Someone actually made a fake episode surrounding Squidward's suicide, and this episode is called Red Mist. It has over 1 million views on YouTube, and it's an edit of our current SpongeBob episode. There are poorly edited bloodshot eyes on many of the fish in this video. Towards the end, we see a zoom in on Squidward's face as he gets the red eyes and then stares into the camera in a very ominous way. This entire Lost episode is obviously fictional, but the overall idea of it is honestly pretty creepy. One thing I do want to mention though, is that there is a modern SpongeBob episode that actually has the themes of this fake Lost episode. The season 8 episode, Are You Happy Now?, is where Squidward realizes that he has no happy memories and he becomes extremely depressed. There's actually a joke where it looks like he's about to hang himself, which is very dark. The creepypasta Squidward's suicide came out years before Are You Happy Now, so it wouldn't really be a stretch if the writers of SpongeBob got inspiration from that. Another interesting lost cartoon episode is Dead Bart, which is a season 1 Simpsons episode that never came to air. This episode started out with poor quality, and the Simpsons family was in a plane. Bart was messing around, but then he broke a window and was sucked out to his death. Act 2 of the episode involved a lot of crying from Bart's family, and this went on for several minutes. In the final act of the episode, it's a year later and the family visits the graveyard to see Bart again. Attached to the creepypasta page is a video called Die Simpsons Dead Bart, along with some German. The video is an edited, grainy version of the Simpsons theme song, and then it's just static for quite a while. In the last minute and a half, we see Bart lying in a coffin and the Simpsons family crying. This video was made to replicate what happens in the story, and while the full edited video isn't good, the premise of Dead Bart is truly a creepy one. The next creepypasta lost episode I want to talk about is Max and Ruby 0004. It's probably the most unique one so far because there's actually pictures and stuff that we can see as the story is being told. Basically, it's about this person who wants to get a Max and Ruby DVD for his young cousin. He comes across this DVD that just has Max and Ruby drawn on there like a kid would do it, and he put it in the DVD player only to realize that it was completely normal. But when the narrator is babysitting his cousin, a scream was heard, and it was because of what was happening in Max and Ruby 0004. It was Max and Ruby, but they had no real faces, and their eyes were blacked out and just gone. Then there was a sound of static and choking, soon to be revealed as the parents of Max and Ruby. Later in this episode, Max kills himself, and then Ruby is the last one alive in the family. At the very end, we see Max and Ruby stare to the audience with no eyes, while the text above says, "Death is our only release." Someone made a video to go along with this lost episode creepypasta, and it's very creepy. Again, of course, this is completely fictional, but the whole idea of it is just really scary and messed up. I can never imagine something like this happening in Max and Ruby, but with creepypastas, anything can happen. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Even though the lost episode stories are fictional, thinking about them is cool and creepy at the same time.
So
Anyway,
horrifying.
be sure to leave a thumbs up and comment below to let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're new as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
Kinda lame right now. Oh shit. It's video.
Guys, go follow me on all my social. But once again, I am coming really good. Like his dumb starfish friend named Patrick, and the always unlucky Squidward. There's Mr. Krabs, the money grabber, and the scientist. And karate master squirrel named Sandy. Everybody knows about the show and how popular it is, but they don't know the truth behind it. SpongeBob and his friends are actually the ghosts of humans that forcefully had to take over the bodies of sea creatures to survive. All of them had visions of the buildings and structures from their previous lives. I will now explain the backstory of the 5 main characters I talked about earlier. SpongeBob was originally a kid named Bob. Bob was a nice kid, always helping others, and always trying to stay out of trouble. But often he did get in trouble, taking the rap for other kids did, and often accidentally tripping someone when trying to help them. One day in 1920, while riding his bike, he accidentally went down a steep hill and fell off, putting him in a coma. After 2 weeks, he eventually died and had a proper funeral. In his sea creature counterpart, he still is very nice and still gets in trouble. Patrick, in his past life, was named John. John was a couple of years younger than Bob, and they were actually very close friends. They lived in the same neighborhood and often played together. In 1918, he was hit in the head very hard, giving him brain damage and an occasional inability to think. Then for his last 5 years, he was always getting into extreme trouble, often hurting other people, and was friendless to everyone except for Bob. Then in 1923, he was having a moment of stupidity and climbed onto the roof. He tripped and fell off the roof, cracking his head and eventually killing him. In his sea creature counterpart, he still acts dumb and is only friends with SpongeBob. Squidward's human name was Dan. Dan was the sore thumb, never playing with the other kids. He was always lonely, with no friends except for his clarinet and his teddy bear, Zippy. Dan had a severe heart condition that would eventually lead him to his end. His heart was so weak that if something surprising happened, if he got startled, he could have a heart attack. One night in 1930, he had a dream where Zippy was murdering him. This scared him so much that he woke up with a severe heart attack, which killed him. In his sea creature counterpart, he still gets scared often, and his only friend is his clarinet. Jim was the name of Mr. Krabs' human counterpart. Jim was from a wealthy family. Despite his family fortune, he was a money grabber and a pickpocket, often taking people's money and running off with it. He was always behind the rest of the family, having a mild mental condition. He also really loved piggy banks and cash registers, and owned a pet whale in a large fish tank. Because of these issues and oddities, he was laughed at by his whole family. His family had a big vault where they stashed all the money, and one day in 1953, when Jim was inside it, jumping for joy because of his family gaining $1 billion, 3 huge bags of money toppled from a high shelf in the vault and crushed him to death. In his sea creature counterpart, he still hogs money and has a whale daughter named Pearl, being his pet whale. Sandy's human counterpart was named Sally. Sally was a teacher's pet. She was always winning the science fairs and often got all A+s due to her intelligence.
Hey.
Kids would come to her at recess and ask her to fix their math problems.
Hi.
Sally was a black belt in karate, often beating all her students.
Hey, Gums.
She would also make many custom fireworks at the country
Hey, I don't know
club,
who
which
you
gained
are.
her major popularity. Sally
I'm
was on
great,
top of
Gums.
the world in karate one day in
I'm great.
1969. Sally was a fighting master. She was doing well until she got kicked extremely hard in the chest, breaking her ribs and making her unable to breathe. This eventually killed her. Even though she isn't a sea creature, in her squirrel form, she was still able to build her tree dome and be a karate and science master. There are many other sea creatures who contain the souls of dead children. They yearn to see their families again and long for their previous lives. Maybe one day when their fish forms die, these mournful souls will take over the new baby of their previous mother.
Oh my god.
If they cannot, however, they will be trapped in a fish body forever, roaming alone across the 7 seas. And that is the end of that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this story. As always, I thought it was okay. I mean,
Oh, I didn't realize. I'm so sorry. I was busy doing live streaming. I'm so sorry. Let's watch something else. Another thing is this thing. God damn it.
everyone, and welcome. I hope. Happy birthday! Special shout out to my beautiful happy birthday. I'm sure she would really appreciate that. She does watch my videos. She does look at
Damn it.
we would ever talk about Hello Kitty as a creepy video, but we're talking about the dark, true meaning of Hello Kitty and where it came from and why. You guys know, I'm pretty sure all of you know what Hello Kitty looks like and who Hello Kitty is. It's a cute little kitty, right? Well, Hello Kitty was created by a woman, a Chinese woman, in 1970-something. She created this cartoon because her daughter had mouth cancer and it was terminal, and doctors had told her that her daughter was going to die, and nobody wants to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that her daughter was going to die. She had cancer of the mouth. Her daughter was only 14 years old. So the mom then took it to religion. She started praying, God, please help my daughter make it through this. Please make the cancer go away. But it only got worse. So she got pushed. The mom was pushed into satanic rituals. She started dealing with the devil. And she made a deal with the devil himself. And she said, please, I want my daughter to live a long, healthy life. Please make the cancer go away. I've tried everything. And the devil only asked for one thing in return. He said to her, I will make your daughter's cancer go away, but I want you to create a cartoon that children will love worldwide. So that when they see this cartoon, they're secretly getting tricked into worshiping the devil, worshiping me. So she said, I'll do it. Later on in life, the daughter's cancer did go away, and the woman stuck to her deal, her bargain that she made with the devil. She made a deal, so she stuck to that, and she created a Hello Kitty. She created the kitty. I'm pretty sure all you guys know what Hello Kitty looks like. She created the kitty with no mouth to represent her daughter having cancer of the mouth. She represented the ears of Hello Kitty. They represent the devil's horns. And the Hello Kitty part, the hell, obviously it's got hell in the word, hello. But kitty in Chinese actually means demon. So what it really says is Hello Demon. Now this went everywhere. This was popular. Everybody loved Hello Kitty. Little kids were buying it all the time. Little kids loved it because they were secretly getting tricked and mind-washed into worshiping the devil. It is said that everybody who buys a Hello Kitty product is secretly welcoming the devil into their life. How scary is that, guys? But there you go, guys. There is the little creepy urban legend of the day. I find it very creepy, and I'm definitely going to throw away my Hello Kitty underwear. So I don't know about you guys, but I am definitely doing that. I don't want Hello Kitty product in my house anymore, so I'm going to have to stop buying those because I really do enjoy the Hello Kitty underwear. So. But yeah, there is your random scary video of the day. I don't know why I said that. I was getting mixed up with the question of the day. Question of the day is, what do you guys think about Hello Kitty? And my question to the Magic 8 Ball is this true?
I'm gonna go. Okay, see you later, I guess.
Better not tell you now. Ooh. Back to What Shall We Do Next. I'm Mike, your host, and I hope you guys are having the best. So, I'm pretty sure that we've all heard about the latest craze of 2017, which is fidget spinners. Unless, of course, you've been living under a rock and aren't familiar with what a fidget spinner